chosen one. God has been patient, extraordinarily patient. He has watched, He has waited, He has allowed seasons to run their course, He has given time for hearts to change, for paths to align, for everything to be positioned correctly. But today, something shifted in the spiritual realm. God looked at your situation, at how long you have been waiting, at what this season has cost you, at the readiness He sees in you that you cannot yet fully see in yourself. And He made a decision. No more waiting. The meeting is happening. Now, in this season, whether everything looks ready or not, God decided it is time. What kind of meeting this is? Not a casual encounter, not a coincidence, a divine appointment, orchestrated entirely by God. Months, maybe years in the making. The kind of meeting that changes the trajectory of everything, that makes you look back later and say, that was the moment. That was when everything shifted. That was the conversation that opened the door. That was the person God sent to carry the next chapter of my life into my hands. This meeting is not random. Every detail has been arranged. The timing, the location, the circumstances that bring you together, the words that will be exchanged, all of it written by God before either of you knew it was coming. Who this meeting involves? It could be one person, it could be several, but whoever God is sending carries something specific, something your next season requires, something you have been missing that you did not even fully know you were missing until it arrives. For some of you, this is a person who carries access to doors you have been standing outside of for too long. For others, this is a person who carries healing, a connection so aligned that their presence in your life begins to repair what was broken in ways nothing else reached. For some, this is a person who carries confirmation, who speaks words over your life that sound exactly like what God has been whispering to you in private for months, and hearing it from this person in this moment will remove every last trace of doubt that what God said was real. For others, this is a person who carries opportunity, a divine connection that opens a door of provision, of purpose, of platform that prayer alone was building toward. And this meeting is where the prayer meets the answer.
Why now? Because you are ready, even if you do not feel ready. God does not measure readiness the way you do. You measure readiness by how polished you are, how healed you are, how together everything looks. God measures readiness by the depth of what the waiting produced in you, by the strength that formed through the seasons of pressure, by the character that was built when no one was watching, by the faith that remained after every reason to abandon it had presented itself. By those measurements, you have been ready for longer than you know. And God is saying the waiting served its purpose. It built what the meeting requires. And now the meeting can happen. because the person showing up to it is the version of you that was always meant to be there. What has been happening behind the scenes while you were waiting? God was preparing the other person, working on their heart, removing things that needed to be removed, healing things that needed to be healed, positioning them geographically, relationally, spiritually, for the moment their path crosses yours. He was also preparing the circumstances, the series of events that will bring you together, each one looking ordinary on its own, but forming a precise chain that leads to one specific moment, one specific encounter, one specific conversation that changes everything for both of you. He was protecting the meeting from interference, from premature timing, from circumstances that would have brought you together before either of you was ready and produced something incomplete instead of the full thing. He was being specific because what he is building through this meeting requires specificity, and God is never careless with what he ordains. Why the enemy tried to prevent it? He has been working overtime to keep this meeting from happening because he knows what it carries. He knows what shifts when these two paths cross. He knows what gets unlocked, what gets activated, what becomes possible on the other side of this encounter, and he could not allow it. So he sent distractions, wrong people at the right time to occupy the space this person was meant to fill. He sent discouragement to make you stop believing that the right person, the right meeting, the right connection was still coming. He sent delays that stretched the waiting past what felt reasonable, past what felt fair, past what faith found comfortable, hoping that by the time the meeting arrived, you would have closed yourself off to it. But God overrode every strategy, dismantled every distraction, preserved the meeting through every attempt to cancel it, because what God ordains cannot be permanently blocked. It can be delayed, it can be opposed, but it cannot be stopped, and the meeting is happening.
How to prepare for what is coming. Stay open. This meeting may not arrive in the package you expected, through the channel you anticipated, at the time you planned for. God's divine appointments rarely look the way we imagined them. They come in ordinary moments, through unexpected introductions, in places you almost did not go, through conversations you almost did not start. Stay open to every possibility, because the meeting is coming, and you do not want to miss it by being too focused on how you thought it would look. Stay present, not in your phone, not in your head, not in the replay of yesterday or the anxiety of tomorrow. Present in the rooms God places you in the conversations He initiates around you, in the moments that feel ordinary but carry the weight of something extraordinary underneath. Stay expectant,
not desperate. Desperation repels. Expectation attracts. Walk with the quiet confidence of someone who knows something significant is coming, not someone who is anxiously searching for it. Let it find you, because it will. God already made sure of that. Stay ready. Not perfect. Ready. There is a difference. Perfect requires everything to be in order. Ready just requires willingness to receive what God is sending. And willingness. You have. What this meeting is going to produce. It will produce a shift in the direction your life is moving. What was going one way will begin moving another. More aligned, more purposed, more directly toward everything God wrote for your life. It will produce clarity. Questions that have been circling without answers will find resolution through what this person carries, through what this conversation reveals, through what this connection activates. In your own understanding of where you are going and why. It will produce acceleration because divine connections compress time. What would have taken years to arrive at alone happens in months when the right person enters the story with what God assigned them to carry into your season. It will produce confirmation that God is still writing your story, still sending what He promised, still faithful to every word He spoke. In your quietest moments, when you needed to hear it most, this meeting is His confirmation in the flesh that He has not forgotten a single word He spoke over your life.
A word for those who stopped believing this was still coming. You convinced yourself that maybe the divine connection was not for you, that maybe you had missed it, or the season had passed, or God had a different plan now that did not include the kind of meeting that changes everything. You almost settled for what was available instead of waiting for what was assigned. And something stopped you. Something in your spirit refused to fully accept that the ordinary was all that was left. That stubborn refusal was God keeping you available for exactly this. The meeting you almost stopped believing was coming is coming. God waited until you were ready, and now He will wait no longer. It is happening in this season for this version of you who survived the waiting and is finally positioned to receive what the waiting was always leading to. Final word: God will wait no longer. The meeting is happening. Unexpected, divinely arranged, perfectly timed, carrying everything your next season requires. Do not miss it by looking the wrong way. Do not dismiss it because it does not look like you expected. Do not close yourself off because the waiting made you guarded. Stay open, stay present, stay expectant.
because what God is sending through this meeting is bigger than what you have been praying for, more aligned than what you could have arranged, more perfectly timed than anything you could have orchestrated. It is coming, in this season, with your name on it, sent by a God who decided that you have waited long enough. In the comments write, "I am ready for my divine meeting," or the number 1111, or "God send who you have prepared for my next season." Subscribe and stay close. Chosen one, God waited long enough. The meeting is arranged. The person is positioned. The moment is set. All that is left is for you to show up, open, ready, and expectant for what God is about to walk into your life. Amen.